Welcome back to a Blu-ray DVD update. Actually, it's all Blu-rays. Got a lot of stuff to show, and I've watched the majority of it. So let's go through it here. First up is the Blue Underground release for the New York Ripper, Lucio Fulci's classic with the lenticular slip. Actually, kind of can't really see it too well, but it's a nice slip cover. This has the a booklet, and then it's got a soundtrack and Blu-ray DVD combo. It also has, let's see, this reversible artwork here. Let's see. Pretty cool, nice release, loaded with special features. This is a, as most of you know, this is a brutal, take no prisoners slasher film. It's got an audio commentary with Troy Howarth and a slew of interviews and special features. It's pretty much a must-own if you're a Euro, Giallo, or a Lucio Fulci fan. Got to get this. All right. Next up is a Scream Factory. This is actually a Scorpion. Sorry. Shredder, 1993, directed by a guy named Greg Hudson, I believe. Yeah, Greg Hudson. I'm sorry, it's 2003, not 1993. 2003. I watched this. I watched it with the audio commentary with the director. There's also an on-camera interview with the lead actress, right there. It grows on me. I didn't like it. Every time I watch it, it kind of rises in my rating about half a point. I'm kind of sitting at like a 6.5 thing, I think, for this. This for 2003. One of my problems with horror films in general, or slasher films, is the more modern they become, the less the characters are. They're more plastic. They're just more kind of off the cover of a glamour magazine, and they just don't have a whole lot of substance. But I have to admit, these characters in this film, and they're annoying, actually. That's the other part. That's the other thing. Is a lot of the characters argue for the sake of arguing, as if that gives the story, propels the dialogue and gives it some tension. It doesn't. It just makes it annoying to me. But I have to admit, the characters in this I enjoyed. And the killer was interesting. Killers. So yeah, I recommend it. Whoops. Shredder. And you get a little mini poster, as well as this is the reversible artwork. So yeah, this is one of those few films that it just kind of rises a little bit each time I watch it. All right, next up is a 1960 film from Jack Harris. This is Kino's release for Dinosaurus. The special effects in this are very good. Now, it's not a Ray Harryhausen done special effects, but I believe Willis O'Brien, in listening to the commentary and the special features, apparently they consulted with Willis O'Brien on the making of the special features. The special effects with the dinosaur, and it was good. It drags a little bit in the middle. I thought the guy that played the Neanderthal was fantastic. This film kind of mishmashes a Neanderthal with dinosaurs. And really the Neanderthal interacting with the modern day humans is much of the plot and the storyline. It's pretty thin as far as the storyline, and beyond that, pretty decent. It's got a audio commentary, which I found very interesting. So yeah, I recommend that if you can get it cheap. Next up is a film Scream Factory's release for The Seven Golden Vampires. This film came at a time when Hammer was Michael Karras' son, basically bought the studio from his dad, who wanted out. And this was a kind of a last-ditch attempt to catch a new wave and resurrect or keep Hammer going financially, and it of course failed. Uh, this was a partnership between the Shaw brothers in Hong Kong and Hammer. I like the film. Peter Cushing is great in it. Of course, he's great in everything. Uh, the martial arts effects are very good. A lot of tension in the production of this film for a lot of reasons. I mean, you had a Chinese crew, you had an English crew invading a Chinese Hong Kong, sets and cultural issues that plagued this film. But I thought it was great, and actually, the guy that plays Dracula, of course, Christopher Lee turned down Dracula in this, and the Dracula in this is, well, I mean, the makeup is way, way overdone. I mean, it looks like he's almost like a drag queen, but it works. It actually works, believe it or not. This film there's a couple cuts of this film. There's the UK cut. It's a 2K scan. It's got an audio commentary, and it's got the alternate US theatrical version, which was released by our buddy from Amicus, Max Rosenberg, and it's a butchered, shortened version. But I watched both cuts. Interesting. It's just an interesting look and a last-ditch effort for Hammer. Next up is a Scorpion release for The Mummy's Revenge, Paul Naschy. This is Paul's one and only attempt to parlay his love of the Universal and Hammer classic horror films, and he made a mummy movie. And of course, with his stature, he had to go more for gore and action than he could for presence or that type of thing. I like the film. It's a fun film. Now, of course, I like most of Paul Naschy's films. Now, the problem with this release is I watched the English audio track with English subtitles, and honestly, there's some parts of this that are just downright bad. So in the first 30 minutes, the picture quality is horrible. The sound quality sounds like it's playing through a toilet bowl. I mean, it's just bad. So I think and I don't know if that's just, it is what it is, and that's the best they could do, or what, but I would definitely recommend watching the Italian cut of the film with English subtitles if you decide to do that. In fact, I think the audio commentary track talks about Troy Howard did the audio commentary track. This film also has some liner notes, which is little insert liner notes. I still recommend it for hardcore Naschy fans. I mean, this is the best you're going to get, so I shouldn't complain too much, because everything else is a bootleg, crappy-looking DVD or pan and scan. So, okay, what do we got here? Let's see. Oh boy, Hellmaster. Yeah, Hellmaster. This is directed by a guy named Doug Schultz, and there's the slipcover. It's an attempt to take advantage of the success of the Hellraiser franchise with a low-budget version that stars John Saxon. But it's also a film that just simply doesn't have a plot. And there's just a lot of scenes that don't go anywhere. I mean, it was his first directorial attempt, and he really hasn't done much. He's done like maybe 4 or 5 films. But, I would say it's a 5 out of 10. Even John Saxon is kind of underutilized in this film. It was interesting because I'd never seen it, but I mean, it's just not very good, and the acting is very flat. Of course, there's an audio commentary with the director. Vinegar Syndrome, as usual, does a great job with this stuff. Audio commentary track, great scan of the film. A slew of special features, interviews, that type of thing. All right, next up is Kathy's Curse, which is one that I've been I don't know. It was in my wish list in my bin. I just never pulled the trigger till now. This is Severin release. This is another film that is not real good, but somehow it's got a cult following. It's a film that tried to take advantage of the success of The Exorcist and type of films like that. It's directed by a guy named Eddie Matalan, a French-Canadian director. He didn't do a whole lot horror-wise beyond this that I'm aware of. But it's a fairly slow-moving film. Basically, it's a possession film. Bottom line, I thought the girl in it was very good. And there's an interview with her as an adult on this special features. There's an audio commentary track with a couple guys that they didn't know. They basically just had a love affair with the film. It was an entertaining track, but it didn't really tell you much. Okay, next up we have Night Beast. Again, this is a nice slipcover here. Vinegar Syndrome release. It's a Blu-ray DVD. And I actually like that artwork better. I'm going to flip it around. Well, yeah, I think I do. I'm going to change it up. Night Beast, 1982, low-budget indie film. And it's very, very low budget. The monster is basically a silly-looking mask. In fact, there's scenes where, in the audio commentary, they talk about the monsters traipsing through the woods, which is a headshot, and basically it's the hand in the mask doing this. I mean, it looks like a hand in a mask. I mean, it doesn't look very good. The acting's flat. I mean, it's a decent one-time watch. I mean, I give it a 5 out of 10. But it's not something I would return back to. I mean, it's not something I would watch that much going forward once I've seen it. It's a Don Dohler. Yeah, the director Don Dohler. I think he's a Baltimore director. Yeah, I appreciate the effort, but it's not very good. 5 out of 10. The thing about Vinegar Syndrome, they're doing such great work, and they're restoring these films that kind of are dubious. I mean, I don't know if they deserve this kind of stuff. But it's interesting. The films are borderline just bad, but I really enjoy listening to the audio commentary and the background special features on these films, even as bad as they are. All right, next up is Penitentiary, which was one of the biggest low-budget independent hits in 1979 and spawned a series of these films. It's very interesting. It's a good film. I love blaxploitation. The guy that did this is a fantastic director who recently died, I think, in 2012. Jamal Fanaka, who does an audio commentary. There's 2 audio commentary tracks on this release from Vinegar Syndrome. Jamal Fanaka does one, and then there's a slew of special features beyond just the audio commentary tracks. Basically, it's a boxing film set in the penitentiary. I mean, it's very entertaining, well done. Both Penitentiary 1 and 2, which you can get both from Vinegar Syndrome, are excellent. Highly recommend it. Next up is Night Owl, which I just finished the audio commentary on this. This is another Vinegar Syndrome release. Night Owl, low budget vampire film. It's got John Leguizamo, who's in one of his first initial roles. It's a very gritty. It's based in New York, the East Side of New York. I mean, it's very gritty, grimy. There's some pretty hard to watch scenes of rape, and I mean, it's the killer basically is punishing people because he's a vampire, and he basically brutalizes a bunch of women, and he kills them because he doesn't want them to become vampires, essentially. This has a host of special features. Like I said, it has an audio commentary with the director, and outtakes from the basically the outtakes from where they were testing out the actors. Pretty interesting. A lot of archival stuff in this. Archival interview with the director. All right. Next up is Robot Ninja. This is not a good movie. I'm not sure why this has got such a cult following. And I've watched it a bunch. I watched it. This thing is loaded now. This release is loaded. It has 4 audio commentaries. It has 2 cuts of the film: a VHS version, and then a theatrical cut. David Dakota is involved in this. It's just a loaded release, but it's just not a good film. But it is interesting. Having said that, I still recommend buying it because it has a lot of background, a lot of interesting discussion about low budget independent filmmaking. There's a booklet. But yeah, this is if you like Robot Ninja at all, man, this is a loaded release. I think this is this Scorpion? Who released this? It's also signed. I didn't even notice that. All right, finally, I've got a German, I think it's Austria actually, a release media book for Death Weekend that shows this cover. Death Weekend came out in '76, and it was another film that tried to parlay the success of Last House on the Left, I Spit on Your Grave, those type of things. The guy that did it, William Fruitt, I believe is his name, he did Goosebumps after this, and he doesn't have a huge... Oh, he did Blue Monkey. I didn't notice that. William Fruitt, he did Blue Monkey. But these media books are nice. Obviously it's in German. You can see there. I have not checked this out, and I haven't checked out the special features, so I can't really tell you whether it's English friendly or not. But it's a nice media book. Limited edition. Looks like what have I got here? 110 out of 222. This is a very interesting rape revenge film, and until someone releases a English version, this is the best we got. It looks like. Really not. I got it from Diabolic too, by the way. Okay, well, that's going to wrap up my update, and I will be back probably this weekend with yet another one. Thanks for watching.